will make everyone switch to it. Just look at last year. I think Guardy did really well at Canadian Nats. I think we definitely saw more of that at the U.S. Nats because of that. It's a direct result. I think you can't say it won't have any
It's not
effect.
because I went 13-0 at regionals. No.
There's a
No,
difference
not at
between
all.
being cocky, and there's also a difference between being cocky and being arrogant and stubborn. Um, yeah, sure, we're usually a pretty confident country, but at the end of the day, you know, if something just completely blows Canadian Nationals by storm, we would have to be very, very dumb to not consider it, or at least, you know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless something is like unexpected, or someone wins like undefeated or something along those lines, I don't know if people are going to bat an eye to it.
I think it'll have a major impact, but that's just my personal opinion.
I'd agree.
What are you agreeing with, Tom?
I'd agree that it's going to have a major impact. You can't say it wouldn't. It's the first tournament held with the black and white cards. It definitely will have an impact. Definitely. 100%.
100%. 105%. We agree.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll actually affect the lower level players more than anything, because they have a benchmark to actually copy. Just be like, well, this deck did well, so that must be a good deck. I'm gonna play that. I think that's what you're gonna see.
I wasn't including them when I was talking about America.
I was only talking about the 1% of the American population.
Well, the people who are probably like in contention to win. I'll just flat
You
out.
gotta realize.
I'll just flat out and say it. The
Most of your rounds are playing against the top players. You're playing against the low players.
for like 5 or 6 rounds, yeah. But after that,
Oh, for most of the term.
no.
You know how many people play tackles?
Hey, for me, rounds 7, 8, and 9, I played people I knew. So, but I was like, I was undefeated, or X1. But so, if you're like up there,
I'm trying to think of people who
I
have
may
faced
play the
in
role of
Switzerland.
the ignorant American pretty well, but Bramwell plays the role of the cocky
Yeah.
American very well.
I don't think I played anybody I knew in Swiss last year. I played Chuck, that was it. And Mikey.
I
Yeah,
only
that's
one
it.
person I knew.
That's up to
Two
you.
people I know.
Yeah.
Have 5 rounds.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's more than ever.
and again, I only played
Played stuff.
7 rounds, so I played 3
Yeah.
people I knew out of 7. It's not bad.
Too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but even those guys are still going to be impacted. Everybody's going to be
But again,
impacted by the.
when I just assume rounds 1 and 2 are part of the people I'm not counting.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So now that we got out of that question, Don Fan, Will,
Woo!
my man Fuko over here. What do you think about Don Fan?
I mean, honestly, it's a good card. It's got 120 hit points for stage 1. Takes 20 less damage every time.
Thanks for
60 for
describing
one.
it. Thanks for
Oh, we got
reading
turn
us the
2?
card.
But
You're reading us the card.
what do you put with it? Like, okay, you can get one Don Fan out, but if that goes down, what's next? Like, I don't understand how it gets past like the mid game. If you can't win like in the first few turns, I don't see how it stabilizes ever. So I like Don Fan as a card, but as a deck, I don't see
Can
it
you
doing
see
it
Don
well.
Fan winning? Can you see Don Fan being paired up with something good?
No, because I don't know what like draw engine you would use to make it
Okay.
consistent.
I consistently beat Chad with Don Fan.
Uh, what about you, Tom? What do you think?
I don't know about Donphan. It seems odd. It seems like it can't sustain a game. When I'm playing through it with it, it's like, oh, you get it turn 1, you take a couple of prizes, but then it's like, can't really do a lot with this hand. Can't really recover from them knocking me out. But there aren't that many like hard counters to Donphan. But I can't see that. Like, it's a strong card, obviously, but I think Crobat Prime is obviously going to be an awesome card for the US Nationals, based on the fact that it can take down Donphan in like 2 turns, like 1 turn.
Yeah, that's true. Crobat beats Donphan. We'll give you that. Whether Crobat will beat anything
There's
else.
respect for Nationals.
Crobat, right. That's his only
Okay.
Donphan's only weakness.
That and Samura, but that's neither here nor there. Drew?
Don fan. To me, I need to be really consistent all tournament. I just don't think a Don fan deck is going to do that for me. I want to play a Magnezone, I want to play a Ninetales, something like that. So, I just don't see Don fan going the distance. Can't flip
Okay.
heads all day in reversal.
Bet you can. You bet you can.
Yeah, tell that to Pramon, alright? He'll go 8 out of 8 on reverse.
So I think it's pretty clear that, especially if you watched last week, I'm pretty pro Don fan.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think it's really good. You know, I'll give you that. The engine probably needs work, but yeah, you can just like win. You can just like have no hand and just win. I mean, I know it's like really.
If you're Michael Pramon.
I know it's like really scary to play, but you can't argue with like solid results. It just wins a lot of games, and it's just like
Where's Chad?
A. Hey, that's like rounds 1 through 8. That caliber. If I can go 8-0 at Nationals, that's fine. So, I like Donphan.
Oh,
But,
Chad.
Well, I don't think anybody's a bigger fan of Don fan than me since I played it at Nationals last year. Granted, I played it at Nationals because I really hadn't playtested the format and I was just being lazy. But I mean, it's still in 6-3. I missed out on Top Cut with because of bad tie breaks and whatnot. But the deck was fine then. It's definitely better
Sure,
now.
that was the reason.
Yes, that
well,
was
it's
the
better.
reason, sir.
It's better now because everything else is worse.
Exactly. And that's a huge difference. If it was a fine deck then, I mean, granted, obviously they had bad matchups against Dialga and a couple other decks, but yeah, I mean, it was a fine deck. You can't take that away from it. Nowadays, it's in a format where stage 2 decks are much slower. You can actually get out really fast, just the reversaling their stuff. That's a big deal. I think people would be silly to underestimate the deck. Yeah, you need to find a good partner for it. Yeah, you probably need to maybe even include some sort of power draw in the deck. I don't know. You need to do something to be able to make a better deck, but it's got all the makings to be a great deck. And I don't know. I think Donphan's going to be a pretty strong contender in this format. I'm probably going to play it. Shoot.
That means it's
No,
not
actually,
to play,
one
guys.
more thing that I want to add on, though. One thing that I do want to add on, though, is that if people decide to tech against Big Fire with Samurott, it actually really, really hurts Donphan. Like, that's huge. Like, if people just decide to metagame against Big Fire because they think that it's going to be all over the place and they decide to play Samurott, which, by the way, I don't think actually beats Big Fire.
No, it doesn't.
Here nor
It
there.
doesn't do anything.
It just demolishes. It completely demolishes Donphan. I found that I can't really kill a Samurai if it comes out.
That still
Like,
comes back.
I have to. Yeah, I mean, I have to dedicate a million resources just to take that one prize, and if they have another one, I just scoop.
That kind of-
So that's pretty important. If somehow people decide to go Samurai, then Donphan's unplayable.
That kind of goes back to the tech thing. How can you play it? It's like, what are you going to pair it up with? Or what are you going to play it Samurai with? So.
Okay. Anyways, I think that's going to be the end of our show for tonight. Tom, would you like to mention anything? Since you
yes.
are a guest.
I'd just like to say a few shout outs to sixprizes.com, or UK players and all the guys watching at the moment. Because, like, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the show. So it's obviously a long time to be watching something.
Okay.
It's easier to watch when you're on screen.
Yeah. We're just listening to that British accent. It's like, oh man, I can be here all day.
Okay. Anybody else want to add on anything before we get off the air?
Do some show shout-outs?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle?
Maybe.
That would be me. First of all, just want to thank Tom for taking the time to sit down and chat with us a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure having you here. And thank you to everybody who watched. We really appreciate your support. We want to make this bigger and better. So anything, just watching, spreading the word, every little bit helps. We really just want to make Pokemon better and just grow it into the game we know it can be. We love this game. We've been playing it for years and years, and it's time to get the attention it deserves. Please follow us on all of our social media sites. On Facebook, we're the Top Cut. Twitter, it's Top Cut Pokemon. Send us an email if you have any support, suggestions, anything like that, at thetopcutpokemon@gmail.com. Find our old episodes or anything we ever put on the stream at blip.tv/ what is it? Top Cut Pokemon?
I think it might have a
The Top Cut.
I think it's the Top Cut, yeah.
Sorry about that. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/user/TopCutPokemon. So, yeah, we're all over the place. Just try to find us. If you like what you see, try to spread the word. Give us some suggestions, because we really do want to improve. We know the quality is not always as high as it could be. We're not always as exciting as we could be, but we're working hard to improve everything. And shortly we will have a website up. And we will let you know when that goes online. Drew over there is working very hard to make it look all spiffy, try to condense everything in one place. And also, we will be at U.S. Nationals providing coverage, real-time updates throughout the day on records, things like that. Also, we'll be doing interviews. I think sometime before Nationals we'll put up some videos just talking about predictions, see what we think will do well, who do we think will do well, and then as the tournament progresses we'll discuss what's doing well, what players we expect to do well, and just really try to provide coverage for people who can't be there, because the most frustrating thing in the world is knowing the tournament's going on but you have no idea what's going on. So we want to change that, and we're going to do our best. So thanks again for watching. And I think that's all I got. That was about a 10-minute speech.
Yeah. We're trying to get Kyle to be our official spokesman. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching the Top Cut, guys. Have a good one.
Alright, see ya.
Thanks, everybody.